Last week I posted a video on the reasons people buy gold, and I mentioned I had a follow-up for silver. Well, this is it, and we're going to jump in right now. Before we do this though, I just want to say that I'm not trying to convince anyone to buy or sell silver. It is a particularly volatile purchase in market conditions like we're currently in, and I don't think it's a good speculative investment. I'm not a financial advisor, I don't have anything to sell you, and honestly, I'm not even trying to change anybody's minds. Really, all I'm doing here is giving a little bit of my own personal perspective on silver. I'll make a few assumptions right out of the gate. I'm going to guess that anyone watching this video will fall into one of four camps. You're either looking to buy, you're looking to hold for the long term, you are looking to trade to gold, or you're looking to profit. If you're familiar with this channel, you know that I don't recommend buying metals for profit, but I can easily defend the pros of any of the first three categories and even get a few good shots in for the fourth. Even though they might seem contradictory, I actually float between all four of them. I'll buy at the right price. I will always keep some amount of physical silver. I'll use it to trade to gold when the timing is right. And I might even sell some ETFs if the price goes high enough. And I feel like I need to put an asterisk on that ETF because normally I'm not a huge fan of paper metals, traded metals, but we'll come back to that one. And like I mentioned earlier, I'm not trying to convince anyone to buy, trade, hold, or sell. But I am going to cover a few reasons why I might personally do each. Starting out with buying, buying is easy. At $27 an ounce, it's an easy purchase and it's also an easy trade if you like ETFs. Again, some of us do, some of us don't. But in the case of physical metals, it's actually fun to pick up a few ounces and see immediate gains in your silver stack. The trick at the moment is to avoid those high premiums. But since we're not taxed on silver in the United States, that's really the only con to purchasing that I can come up with. And even that, I don't worry too much about premiums at lower amounts because I see a small stack of silver as a smart thing to have in an emergency, almost like an emergency supply. In terms of holding on to silver, silver is never going to zero. And that alone makes it less volatile than digital currencies or even paper stocks to a certain extent. And hypothetically, at least, it will stay ahead of inflation. And if you subscribe to the idea that it's seriously undervalued, then it even makes more sense to hold on to it. I personally do think it's undervalued, but it's frustrating to me that it continues to stay at such a low price. Silver spiked to $50 an ounce in 1980, and that was a lifetime ago. And really the only rationale that makes sense to me is that since more than 50% of silver demand comes from industrial uses, it has downward pressure from thrifting. And thrifting means that as a commodity gets more expensive, it's going to be used less. Now, I don't like it, but it makes sense. Price is always going to be regulated by demand. Trading silver for gold. Now this seems to be a hot button around here. I see lots of comments about people planning to trade silver for gold, but they have vast differences on their GSR expectations. At 1 to 70, the ratio is about as low as it's been for years, but any video I post that mentions that I've traded silver for gold gets heckled with negative comments and more thumbs down votes than anything else that I put out there. Now, the biggest reason that I'm trading silver toward gold right now is to bring down the price of gold. Gold is just too expensive right now. So I'm using the silver I bought a decade ago as money and trying to catch up on my goals for gold. Gold just seems like a runaway train that I want on. And silver is like the horse in an old Western movie that I'm going to try to ride to catch it. And maybe that sounds dumb, but it seems like the perfect analogy to me. I mean, maybe you bought your ticket at the station and you got on it early and you've been on all along as the train's been picking up steam. Or maybe you think you've got time and a hell of a horse and you're just gonna catch it a little further down the track. Whatever the case, if the end goal is the same, I'm certainly not gonna fault anybody for their timing. And the last camp I mentioned is selling silver. And selling silver for profit is not something I'm normally interested in. It's not something, honestly, that I've ever done, but because I think silver's potential momentum reminds me of 2011, I've actually purchased shares of SLV at approximately the same rate as the silver that I've been trading into gold. And because I have other ETFs, actually gold ETFs, GLD and IAU, and also miners acting as a portfolio hedge, my SLV position is really just there for a potential silver bull run. And even though I'm always going to start with physical metals before I get into the electronically traded kind, the thing that I remember from a decade ago is that the price gains were gone in a blink of the eye after the April 2011 spike. I didn't have an outlet to sell even if I wanted to. And then it rode out for 7 years in the sub $20 range. So holding SLV, I guess, allows me to sell it easily if I want to. Or I can turn around after selling it, I can buy physical silver with that cash. And honestly, either option would feel pretty good. Now, I'm not crazy about silver, and I'm not saying I don't like it. I'm just saying I'm literally not crazy about it. I don't think we'll see a 1 to 10 GSR because more than half the silver demand comes from manufacturing needs. And I don't mean to cross-contaminate because it seems to make everybody mad, but if you look at gold, it's like 12%. So over the long run, I'm more interested in gold. But if silver can help me get there, then hey, that's fantastic. And I did oversell recently. I've got some making up to do. I don't know where things are going, but I will be picking up American Silver Eagles again. I think it's smart to have the 1 ounce coin, the primary coin of wherever you live. In my case, it's an eagle. And I think gold prices are just getting so high that having smaller denominations in metal is going to be more necessary over time. Even my 10 ounce silver bars may be too expensive to be flexible. That's another reason I just wasn't real sad to see those 10 ounce bars go. But I get why everybody's excited about silver right now. It's, it could be ready for a big run. I actually went through some coins that I had here at the house and just pulled out a few dimes that have high silver content. I think that's just crazy that you can go through old pocket change and find 90% silver. Now I did send a few of them to Silver Britches. It's kind of a joke. I've always told him that one of these times I'm going to do an unboxing and I'm just going to pour out a bunch of Mercury dimes. But I found like 5 of them, and if that's not fun, then I guess I don't know what is. So if you catch me in one of these videos talking up gold and maybe not giving silver the due that you think it's due, well, maybe this is a little bit of background. I think silver is great. I just focused on gold right now. I'll still be buying silver. I'll just be doing it very specifically. I'm not going to buy anything under pressure. Like junk silver. Why buy that stuff when you can just find it between your seat cushions? All right, thanks for watching, everybody. If this has been helpful in any way, be sure to hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed and have a fantastic day.